Howdy folks, I'm Joyous Jetta Arctic, jubilantly jaunting about jumpy June bugs.
I'm Amber.
And here are more jumpy June bugs for us to jaunt about. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Maybe we're playing with new friends. But let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Parents That Their Transportation Wasn't My Problem After They Gave My Car to My Brother? Okay, this is a little clickbaity. It was their car that I have maintained and paid the registration and insurance on for years. They have every right to give it away. My mom doesn't drive, and my dad had his license taken away after a DUI. I live a couple of blocks away from them, and I work from home. I don't really need a car except for getting groceries and running my folks around. My dad's car was a Jeep Grand Cherokee that was only 3 years old when he lost his license. It was fully paid off, so I just took over paying for the insurance and registration. It was nice to have a car for errands and for running errands with my folks, and is much nicer car than I would have gotten for myself. Well, my brother was over a couple of months ago, and he was a little more annoyed than usual about me getting a free car. He was hollering about how I am the golden child and my parents give me everything. So my dad told me to give the car back so that he could give it to my brother, since it would be fair since I got to use it for free for 4 years. Like I said, it's not my car and I really don't need one. My brother lives across town a good 45 minutes away, and I live 5 minutes away. My mom called me on Friday a couple of weeks ago to remind me that she had a hearing aid appointment. I reminded her that I no longer have a car. She ended up taking a cab because my brother was at work. My dad called me to ask me to come over and talk, so I walked my dog Bruno over to see them. My dad said that I had 4 years to save up and buy a car of my own, and he wanted to know when I was going to buy one. I told him that I don't need a car, that I'm happy getting Walmart to deliver my groceries because I'm not like my mom and insist on inspecting every stalk of celery before it goes in my cart. Both of us live on a good bus route, and it takes us downtown if we need to go to the doctor or anything like that. I said that I wasn't planning on buying a car. He said he hoped that I'm not expecting him to buy me a car just to run errands for them. I said, I don't need a car. I work from home. My clients see me in my home. My salon is on the main floor of my house, and I have a nice basement suite for me and Bruno. I ordered supplies that get delivered, and I order groceries that get delivered. I order stuff from Amazon that gets delivered. I don't need a car or an expense of a car. I told them to get my brother to run them around since he has a car now. My dad had the decency to look embarrassed. He said that my brother took our mom for groceries once and acted like it was a huge imposition and made her cry. So they don't want to ask him for any favors. I pointed out that they could have just asked for the car back, but that was also a non-starter. I said that I would not be getting a car, but that if he would like to, that I would be willing to split the cost of a car share membership. That way, I can take the bus to the nearest car and then use it for a few hours when they need a ride. He agreed, but thinks that I should pay for the whole thing. I reiterated that I do not need a car, and that if he keeps it up, I won't even split the cost with him. He thinks that I'm being ungrateful and childish because I almost had a new car for free for 4 years. I just rolled my eyes now. Edit, I changed a word because my father didn't use it, he just implied it. Also, I stopped paying the insurance on the car, which is still registered to my dad. The registration is paid for the year already. I also did use the car for personal stuff sometimes, getting together with girlfriends and going on dates. I don't like men knowing where I live before I get to know them. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, the brother just sounds very entitled. It seems like OP had this car not for, like, as just a gift, but it came with the obligation of taking her parents' places.
Yeah.
The parents should have made that deal with him.
Yeah.
If they wanted, they're like, okay, but you're going to take over all of our transportation.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. The brother's a huge jerk and made the mom cry. And instead of taking the car back, they're just trying to bully OP because I have a feeling OP is the child who's more agreeable and easier to bend to their wills.
Well, I think that's probably what they're seeing. It's not so much that OP is the golden child, it's just that OP is more agreeable and more willing to work with people. And the brother sounds like they aren't agreeable and are unwilling to work with people. And so they might perceive it as OP being a golden child when it's actually OP being a nice person.
Well, it sounds like he's just a bully, and he will use whatever angle he can get to get his way. Like, bullying his mom to the point where she cries. Like, again, why wasn't that grounds for taking the car back?
I mean, it should have been. They should have said right then and there that, look, this is part of it. Like, the reason why we let her use the car for 4 years is because she's been driving us around and doing errands and stuff like that.
You know, and the dad is acting so entitled here, like, oh, well, you should pay to take us places. No, OP shouldn't even be offering to pay any part of the rideshare. That should be all on him because this is their transportation.
And I mean, OP has to even go and get the car from the rideshare, so it's not even convenient for them. Like, this is just inconvenient all around, and it just sounds like OP is a pushover in some respects.
Right. OP, I think it's time to work on being a little less agreeable and start setting some boundaries with your parents so they can't keep walking all over you.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Dramatic Paramedic 79 says, not for nothing. As far as you know, your brother has not insured the car. Is it still registered and titled to the dad? If the brother gets into an accident, your father will be sued. He is liable. If he wants to give the car away, give the title and have it registered in the name of the owner. Dad has really manned himself into a corner. And OP replies, it's not my problem anymore. And Cindy 3003 says, not the jerk, get the car back and teach your mom how to drive. OP replies, my mom had her license before. She's just too nervous to drive now because she was in a bad accident. She was at fault. No one but her got hurt, thank goodness. And she was looking around for something in the back seat and she crashed into a building. And Simple Proof 721 says, well, would she do that this time? And OP replies, no clue, but she doesn't want to try. I mean, people get trauma, and you can't expect people to just magic themselves out of trauma, right? I mean, sometimes it takes a long time to get over something like this. And if she feels like she's not responsible enough to drive, the most responsible thing that she can do is not drive, right? Like, if she knows that she's going to get herself into an accident because she's too easily distractible by searching in the back seat while she's driving, then that's not a good thing to do, right? All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Move In with My Mom so she can stay in her house until she dies? Long story short, my stepdad has ALS and doesn't have long to live. Him and my mom are relatively young. They live in a double-wide/modular home on 15 acres of land. My husband and I are wannabe farmers with not much land. We have sheep, goats, pigs, bunnies, and about every kind of bird. My husband and I own our own house, and it will be paid off in 5 years. We have poured our blood, sweat, and tears into everything that we have, and my husband has pounded every nail into this house and our barn. The house is beautiful on the inside and has been freshly remodeled a few years ago. I'm very proud of our home. It does need some TLC on the outside, however. The other night, my stepdad said, would you guys consider renting out your house and moving in with your mom after I pass away so she can stay in this house? This house is too much for her to take care of and maintain on her own. Since you guys will be renting out your house, you can go back when she's gone. My husband flat out refused to rent out our house, as he flips houses for a living and knows firsthand how tenants destroy things. And he doesn't want all of his hard work to get trashed like that. And dealing with the tenants is not something that we want to be burdened with, and would leave us with 2 properties to maintain. The stipulation with us moving in with my mom would be that I wouldn't be able to keep my dog. We would have to pay the taxes, $8,000 a year, put on a new roof, and put some siding on it, and manage the property. Right now, the house is worth $290,000. What makes it worse is that the house isn't even my mom's name. My stepdad and stepbrother are willed the house, and my stepsister's name is on the deed. So if we were to go and live with my mom, the minute she dies, we are going to be messed over. And we don't want to have a trashed and destroyed house to return to. And we don't want to sell our house and have to start over. We would be essentially raising the value of my parents' house and walking away with nothing while my step-siblings reap the benefit of it. So I told my stepdad that we are willing to do it only if we can buy the house and we are willing to pay full market value. The house is appraised at $290,000, and my stepdad said, you won't be able to afford this house. We said, yes, we can, and he said, no, you can't. I want $500,000 for it. So I told him no deal, and now he won't talk to us. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And it's my goodness, is this man greedy? Like, the sheer amount of greed here. Like, I cannot fathom a trailer being worth $500,000.
Well, it's a modular home.
Okay. Still, if it's a price at $290,000, like, you're supposed to cut deals and lower things for family, not jack up the price. He's doing this intentionally to be like, you have to agree to my terms.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sheer, like, greed here. Like, why is it OP who has to pay from the roof? Shouldn't that come out of his estate? He wants to exploit OP and her husband and milk them dry, and so that his kids can reap the benefits. And that's just so gross.
Yeah, I mean, if he really wants to cut a deal, tell his kids to come in and move in and do these repairs and stuff like that, that this house is going to be theirs eventually anyways, and so they need to, go ahead and do this. This isn't OP's responsibility. If OP was inheriting this house, I would feel a little bit different about it and say, well, you're still not obligated to do all this stuff to it, but it might be nice given that you're, going to inherit this house and, taking care of your mom and stuff like that is always a good thing. I also think it's a little nonsensical that they're saying that, oh, the mom is too much house for the mom to take care of. Well, who's been taking care of the house all this time? Has she not been taking care of it? I don't know. It just doesn't seem to really make a whole lot of sense. If they really want, go ahead and put a new roof on it, but don't force OP and their husband to do that or pay them to put the roof on, right? And this needs to be one of those things where OP also benefits from the arrangement, and OP and their husband aren't going to benefit from this arrangement.
Like, whoever is getting the house needs to be the one to take care of the house.
And I mean, like, I think OP can make the point of, like, well, if we're going to put $8,000 into repairing the roof here, then we're going to need that paid out of your estate. We're going to have it whenever your siblings sell this house, or the siblings sell the house, we're going to get a certain percentage of it. And that's the only way that this actually makes it worth to OP,
Right, and like I wouldn't not necessarily, like, OP can decide whether or not that's for them, but if they did want to go do anything, make sure it is all in writing and ironclad, cannot be broken terms, because this dude sounds like a huge scammer.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Being Unhappy About My Husband Not Letting Our Daughter Attend a Birthday Party Because She Was the Only Girl There? My daughter, 7 years old, had a best friend who is a boy, just turned 8. He lives in our neighborhood very close by, and my daughter has been friends with him for about 2 years. He attends the local public school while our daughter is homeschooled. My daughter's friend just had his 8th birthday party at a local laser tag center/arcade and invited along my daughter. My husband was the one who took her, but as he was dropping her off, he noticed that all the other children, about 15 to 20 of them, her friend had invited to the party were boys, and that my daughter was the only girl there. Most, if not all of them, were boys from his school, which meant that they are boys who live nearby us, but my daughter didn't know most of them due to being homeschooled. Well, my husband told my daughter that he didn't want her attending the party, and he took her home, which really disappointed her a ton. His explanation to me was that he didn't feel safe having her be the only girl amongst a big group of boys that she didn't know. I don't think that this would have been an issue at all, as my daughter gets along great with boys, better than girls from what I've seen. And I feel that it would have been a great opportunity to get to know some more of the kids in our community and make more friends. I've been unhappy with my husband about this, and I've made it clear that I don't ever want her to be barred from going to parties for this reason again. He apologized to her and is taking her on a special outing to make up for not being able to go to this party, but still insists to me that he thinks that he made the right decision and that he was being protective of her. Am I the jerk for being unhappy about this? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. This is ridiculous. Like, these are 7 and 8-year-old kids. I would be concerned if there weren't chaperones, but as long as there were chaperones, like, the gender makeup of the kids doesn't matter. The big thing is making sure that there are people to make sure the kids don't, like, run into each other or, whatever else. Laser tag can get a little rowdy, but as long as you have parents to supervise, it's not going to be an issue.
Do they all have knives? Was this like a Lord of the Flies laser tag theme? Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
why he would think that this was, like, such a terrible situation. Like, these are just little kids. They're 8-year-olds, right? And, like, maybe, just maybe, if they were, like, football linebacker type characters playing laser tag with a little girl, I could see him being a little more justified in his concern with having his daughter being run over by a big linebacker, right? Like, there's nothing here that makes me being like, oh yeah, this girl was clearly in danger in this situation.
Exactly. And like it makes me concerned for the future because as the daughter gets older, like if he's already this overprotective of her at 8,
Yeah.
what is he going to do when she's 12 or 16?
Yeah. And I mean, like, kids at that age, and I understand, like, him being concerned about kids, because every parent's going to be concerned about their child, right? But even kids at that age aren't dating. They're not, sexually active or anything like that. And I think that if that's where his mind is going, then that's a really disturbing place. Like, they're young. They're very young children for any of those kinds of ideas, you know?
And again, if he's like worried about like the more like the bullying and fighting, like oh they're too aggressive, like there's presumably chaperones, and he
Yeah.
could have always volunteered to chaperone too.
Well, that's it. It's like he, instead of choosing to stay around and being like, oh, I noticed that you have 15 to 20 boys here. Do you want an extra pair of hands? Which I'm sure they would have not rejected, mind you. He's like, I'm just going to like not drop her off and take her home instead, right? Like, it just feels like there was an alternative here that he could have taken and that he chose not to. I mean, everyone has a cell phone these days. He could have easily called his wife and been like, oh, I'm going to stay here. There's a lot of kids and I just want to make sure our daughter is safe, right?
Right. I mean, the best way to make sure your kid is safe is to make sure that they know how to handle themselves. You know, shielding her from ever interacting with boys is not going to help her.
No, it won't. It won't. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
Why do aliens make good house guests?
Oh, well, I can tell you why they make great house guests. It's because they wipe your mind when they leave, and so you never even knew they were there. You just are gaslighted into thinking that you made that giant mess in the living room when it wasn't you at all. So you know what those little things that disappear randomly on you, that's when the aliens come to your house and they move things on you and you don't remember it because the aliens wiped your memory of that situation. So the next time something just disappears and you have no idea where it went, you can thank your lovely alien friend guests who came by and kept you company for a little while and then wiped your memory.
Yeah, this took a really creepy turn. They bring their own saucers.
They sure do. They sure do.
And it's invite an alien to live with you day. And also, that just, went so creepy.
So go invite another alien friend to live with you so that you can have your memory wiped once more. And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. And folks, as you can see, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. For more information, please see this thing here. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on unreasonable demands from parents.
If your kids are doing you a favor, you can't expect them to foot the bill.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
The house is beautiful on the inside and has been fleshly remodeled. Ooh, flesh house. Yum.